My girlfriend said, "I didn't cheat. I just developed a connection with someone I met on the trip." I asked, "While we were still together?" She said, "It's not that simple." I replied, "It is now." When she came back from her deep connection and saw who handed her the packed suitcase at the door, she forgot how to speak. I'm Daniel, 34, and 3 weeks ago my girlfriend of 4 years came back from a work conference and told me she'd developed a connection with someone else. The way she tried to reframe cheating as some kind of spiritual awakening would have been funny if it hadn't been destroying my life. What she didn't expect was how quickly I'd be done, or who I'd have waiting at the door when she came back for her things. Lauren and I had been together since we were both 30, met through mutual friends, fell into an easy relationship, moved in together after a year. She worked in tech sales, I'm in software development. We had a good life, nice apartment, traveled twice a year, talked vaguely about marriage. I thought we were solid. 2 months ago, Lauren's company sent her to a conference in Austin. 5 days, all expenses paid, networking and panels about industry trends. She'd been excited about it for weeks, new city, chance to make connections, break from routine. I'd been supportive, told her to have fun, bring me back a weird Texas souvenir, the usual. She left on a Monday morning. I drove her to the airport, kissed her goodbye, told her I'd miss her. She smiled and said she'd call every night. And she did call. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. The conversations were normal. She told me about panels she'd attended, restaurants she'd tried, people she'd met. Nothing seemed off. Friday night, she didn't call. I texted around 10 p.m. "Everything okay?" She responded 2 hours later. "Sorry, late dinner with colleagues, exhausted. Talk tomorrow." Saturday morning she texted, "Extending trip by 2 days. Some people are staying through the weekend to explore the city. Okay with you?" I didn't love it, but it wasn't unreasonable. "Sure, have fun, miss you." She came home Monday evening instead of Saturday. When I picked her up from the airport, something felt different. She was distracted, checking her phone constantly, giving short answers to my questions about the trip. I figured she was tired. That night, after we'd both gotten ready for bed, she sat down on the edge of the mattress and said, "We need to talk." Those 4 words. Never good. "What's going on?" I asked. "I met someone at the conference. His name is Marcus. He's from San Francisco, works in venture capital. We spent a lot of time together over the weekend." My stomach dropped. "Okay, and?" "And I think I developed a connection with him, like a real connection, something I haven't felt in a long time." "What does that mean, Lauren?" "It means I'm confused about us, about what I want." "Did you sleep with him?" She looked away. "I didn't cheat on you, Daniel. We just talked, a lot, about life and careers and what we want from the future. He made me realize I've been settling." "Settling? With me?" "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" "I mean, I think I've been comfortable for too long. Marcus challenged me, made me think about things differently, made me feel alive in a way I haven't felt in years." I sat there processing. "So you met someone at a conference, spent the weekend with him, developed feelings, and now you're telling me you're confused about our 4-year relationship. When you say it like that, it sounds worse than it is." "How is it not that bad, Lauren?" "Because I didn't cheat. I didn't do anything physical. I just connected with someone emotionally. While we were still together? It's not that simple." "It is now," I said. "If you developed feelings for someone else, if you're confused about us, then we're done. I'm not going to compete for your attention while you figure out if I'm good enough compared to some guy you met at a conference." Her face went pale. "Daniel, that's not fair. What's not fair is you coming home and telling me you've been emotionally cheating on me and expecting me to be okay with it because you didn't technically sleep with him." "I wasn't emotionally cheating." "Yes, you were. You spent an entire weekend with another man, developing feelings, and you extended your trip to spend more time with him. That's emotional cheating. And honestly, I don't even believe nothing physical happened. Nothing happened. I don't care. The emotional betrayal is enough. Pack a bag. You can stay at your sister's or a hotel tonight. We'll figure out the apartment later. She stared at me like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. You're breaking up with me, right now, without even discussing this? There's nothing to discuss. You developed feelings for someone else. You told me you're confused about us. I'm making it simple. We're done. Daniel, please. Pack a bag, Lauren. I'm serious. She tried to argue for another 20 minutes. Cried. Said I was being hasty. Said she just needed time to sort through her feelings. I didn't budge. Finally, she packed an overnight bag and left around midnight. I heard her car pull out of the parking lot, and then I just sat on the couch in silence for about 2 hours. Update 1. The next morning, I called my sister Emma and told her everything. She was furious on my behalf. She admitted to developing feelings for someone else and expected you to just wait around while she figured things out. That's insane. I know. What are you going to do? I'm going to pack up her stuff and get her out of the apartment. The lease is in my name. She moved in with me. She can find somewhere else to live. Do you need help? Actually, yeah. Can you come over this weekend? Emma came over Saturday morning with her husband, Greg. We spent the entire day packing Lauren's belongings, clothes, books, toiletries, kitchen items she'd brought, decorative stuff. Everything that was clearly hers went into boxes. We stacked them neatly in the living room. Lauren had been texting me all week, first apologizing, then getting defensive, then trying to explain that she didn't mean to hurt me. I'd responded once. You can come get your things this weekend, let me know when. She texted Saturday evening. Can I come by tomorrow around 2? Fine. Sunday at 1:45, I got a text. I'm bringing Marcus. I want you to meet him. Maybe if you talk to him, you'll understand. I stared at that message for a full minute. She wanted to bring the guy she'd developed a connection with to pick up her stuff from our apartment? The audacity was breathtaking. I called Emma. She's bringing him. Bringing who? Marcus, the conference guy. She wants me to meet him. You're joking. I wish I was. What are you going to do? I have an idea. Can you and Greg come over right now? They arrived 20 minutes later. I explained my plan. Emma laughed so hard she almost cried. Greg said, "This is either genius or completely insane." Probably both, I agreed. At exactly 2 p.m., there was a knock at the door. I opened it to find Lauren standing there with a tall guy in an expensive-looking jacket. Marcus. He had that tech bro confidence, firm handshake, direct eye contact, clearly used to getting what he wanted. Daniel, this is Marcus. Marcus, Daniel. Hey man, Marcus said. Lauren's told me a lot about you. I'm sure she has. I stepped aside. Her stuff is in the living room, all packed. Lauren walked in, Marcus following. She stopped when she saw the boxes. You packed everything? You don't live here anymore. Seemed logical. This seems aggressive. It's efficient. Everything's labeled. You can check to make sure I didn't miss anything. Marcus was looking around the apartment like he was evaluating real estate. Nice place. How long have you lived here? 3 years. Lauren moved in 2 years ago. Cool, cool. He picked up one of the boxes. I'll start loading these in the car. Actually, I said, I have someone here who wants to help. I walked to the bedroom door and opened it. Emma stepped out, followed by Greg. Hey, Lauren, Emma said coldly. Been a while. Lauren's face went white. Emma, what are you doing here? Daniel's my brother. I came to help him pack up your stuff and support him while he deals with his girlfriend cheating on him. I didn't cheat. Emotional affairs are still affairs, Lauren. But you know what? I'm not the person Daniel really wanted you to meet today. I opened the front door. Standing there was Lauren's sister, Jen. The look on Lauren's face was priceless. Her mouth literally fell open. Marcus looked confused. Jen? Lauren's voice was barely a whisper. Jen walked in carrying a box with a label that said, Lauren's Kitchen Stuff. She set it down and turned to her sister. Hey, Lauren, Daniel called me earlier this week, told me what happened, asked if I'd be willing to come by today to help you move your things out. You talked to him? Behind my back? He's not your boyfriend anymore, so there's no behind your back. He called me because he thought you might need family support during this transition. I came because I wanted to tell you to your face what I think about what you did. Jen, you cheated on a good man. And before you say you didn't, yes, you did. Emotional affairs count. You developed feelings for someone else while in a committed relationship. You extended a work trip to spend more time with that person. You came home and told Daniel you were confused. That's cheating, Marcus cleared his throat. Maybe we should just grab the boxes and go. Maybe you should have stayed in San Francisco, Emma said sharply. Jen looked at Marcus. You knew she had a boyfriend, right? When you were spending all that time with her in Austin? She told me their relationship was basically over. It wasn't over, I said. We were fine until she met you. She came back from that trip and blew up 4 years because you made her feel alive for a weekend. Lauren was crying now. Can we not do this? Can I just get my stuff and leave? That's literally what we're here for, Jen said. To help you get your stuff and leave. Come on. The 4 of us, me, Emma, Greg, and Jen, helped load Lauren's boxes into her car and Marcus's rental car. It took about 20 minutes. Lauren barely spoke. Marcus kept trying to make small talk that nobody responded to. When the last box was loaded, Jen hugged me. You deserve better than this, Daniel. I'm sorry my sister is an idiot. Thanks for coming. Anytime. She turned to Lauren. Call me when you're ready to admit you screwed up. Then they left. I closed the door and stood in my apartment. Our apartment, now just my apartment, and felt this strange mix of sadness and relief. Update 2. The fallout was immediate. Jen apparently had a long conversation with Lauren that night and told her exactly what she thought about the situation. Lauren called me the next day crying, saying I'd humiliated her by having her sister there. You humiliated yourself by bringing the guy you cheated with to pick up your stuff, I replied. I wanted you to understand. Understand what? That you fell for someone else? I already understood that. You made it very clear. Jen won't even talk to me now. My own sister is taking your side. Maybe that should tell you something. She hung up on me. Over the next week, the story spread through our mutual friend group. Reactions were mixed. Some people thought I'd been too harsh. Most thought Lauren had made a series of terrible decisions and was now facing consequences. Marcus apparently went back to San Francisco after that weekend. Lauren texted me about it 2 weeks after she'd moved out. Marcus and I aren't together. The distance is too hard. He said it's not the right time. I didn't respond. 3 weeks after the breakup, Lauren asked to meet for coffee. I agreed, mostly because I wanted closure. She looked tired when she sat down across from me. I made a huge mistake. Yeah, you did. Not just with Marcus. With us. I threw away something real for something that turned out to be nothing. What did you expect? You fell for some guy you spent a weekend with. That's not a foundation for a relationship. I know that now. Good for you. Daniel, is there any chance? No, there's no chance. Even if Marcus hadn't existed, even if you'd just come home and said you wanted to break up, we'd be done. But the way you did it, the emotional cheating, the bringing him to the apartment, the complete lack of respect for what we had, there's no coming back from that. I still love you. I don't believe you. I think you love the stability I provided. I think you love not being alone, but you don't love me. If you did, you wouldn't have done what you did. She cried. I didn't comfort her. We finished our coffees in silence and then went our separate ways. Final update. It's been 4 months since Lauren came back from Austin and told me about her connection. 4 months since I packed her things and had her sister hand her a suitcase. I'm doing okay now. Better than okay, actually. I kept the apartment. Lauren moved in with a friend temporarily and then found her own place about 6 weeks ago. We don't talk. I blocked her on social media after she posted something vague about learning to forgive yourself that was clearly directed at me. Jen and I have stayed in touch. We get coffee occasionally. She apologized multiple times for her sister's behavior, which I told her wasn't necessary. She said Lauren is still single, still processing what happened, still occasionally bringing up my name like there's any chance of reconciliation. There isn't. Emma asked me last week if I regretted how I handled it, if having Jen there was too much. No, I said. Lauren brought the guy she cheated with to our apartment. Having her sister there to witness her consequences seemed appropriate. The thing I've learned from all this is that emotional affair isn't a softer version of cheating. It's still betrayal. It's still a violation of trust. Lauren thought because nothing physical happened, it somehow didn't count. But developing feelings for someone else, spending time nurturing that connection, prioritizing them over your partner, that's cheating. The lack of physical contact doesn't make it less painful. I've started dating again. Nothing serious yet, but I'm open to it. I'm more cautious now about people who talk about being bored in relationships or who romanticize the idea of connections that develop quickly. Real relationships are built over time, through commitment and choice, not through weekend adventures with strangers at conferences. I ran into Marcus once, actually. He was in town for another work thing about 2 months ago. We were at the same coffee shop. He recognized me, looked uncomfortable, and left quickly. I didn't say anything. What was there to say? As for Lauren, I heard through mutual friends that she's been telling people our breakup was mutual, that we'd been having problems for a while. I don't bother correcting the narrative. The people who matter know the truth. The last text I got from her was 3 weeks ago. I hope you're doing well. I think about you sometimes, about what we had. I'm sorry I ruined it. I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. She made her choices. I made mine. The difference is, I'm at peace with mine. Sometimes I think about that moment when she walked into the apartment and saw Jen standing there. The complete shock on her face. The realization that actions have consequences, and sometimes those consequences involve your own family calling you out. It wasn't about revenge. It was about showing her that what she'd done wasn't okay, and that the people who loved her could see that, even if she couldn't. I hope she learns from this. I hope her next relationship is one where she doesn't sabotage something real for something shiny and new. But that's not my problem anymore. I'm doing fine. The apartment feels like mine again. I've redecorated, changed some furniture, made it a space that doesn't remind me of her. I'm sleeping better, working out more, spending time with friends and family. Life goes on,